Okay, it's recording. Hi. Oh my god, I can't with myself. Today is the last day of my period, which means the new first day of feeling like a human again. And it was so cute. My period tracking app, which I use Stardust. I used to use Flow, and then I had Moody, and then I learned about Stardust, and that it was created by a woman, and it's like very kind of like more spiritual, and tracks it along with the moon. So it's really cute. If you're a girly, get Stardust. I really recommend. And it sends you little daily affirmations or like messages in alignment with where you are in your cycle, and like they're kind of cutesy but kind of tell you what to do as well. And the one I got today was get ready to turn into a beautiful butterfly, and honestly slay. I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to become a brand new person. And do I go through this kind of a feeling once every month? Absolutely. Is it healthy for my psyche? Definitely not. I don't. It's a lot. It's overwhelming. I get overstimulated. It's just really exhausting feeling like I'm never pleased with where I'm at and who I am as a person. I mean, will the day ever come? I honestly don't think so, because I also have ADHD and I'm just constantly on the search for dopamine and a feeling of satisfaction. And I literally wrote an entire like journaling essay yesterday about this, about how I. Ah! Fucking hell. At least it wasn't a human body, okay? I'm on the 18th floor right now. It's a sky, like a tall building that I live in, and there's been a lot of snowfall here, and literally just like a whole thing of snow. I think they're cleaning it actually now because it's just been falling all day. But that was just so unexpected and loud, and like right hit the ledge of my window. Um, was that a sign? Should I have taken that as a sign? I don't know. I take everything as a sign. I'm that kind of bitch. I'm spiritual, believe in the universe, but I'm very much also like grounded in reality, in the sense of like I'm a human being. I have a physical body, regardless of like what I believe in, like regards to the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, everything is energy. We're all spiritual beings. We do still live in a three-dimensional world. We perceive things via our senses. We inhabit meat vessels. Like, hello, this is literally a meat. I'm a meat. I could be sold at a butcher shop, but we are not promoting cannibalism here, although we're eating animals. So what's really the difference if we start eating humans? Not to promote or advocate, that's not where I'm getting with that. Anyway, back to the original topic, which was I'm never seemingly satisfied with myself. And I wrote a whole ass journaling essay prompt because I realized that I don't actually enjoy journaling by hand. And because I have really fast thoughts, like my thoughts are much quicker than the speed at which my hand can write. So by the first page of me journaling in my notebook, I usually get really like sore in my wrists, and I'm just like, ugh, and the handwriting gets so shit because I'm just like trying to, write it as fast as possible. And I also have this fear that I'll forget the thought before I get it down on the paper, because I do have a tendency to just forget my thoughts literally 3 seconds after I've had them. Is that a concerning thought? Maybe, but I've also just, that's always been my brain. I think it's the ADHD. I think it's just my brain like thinking a lot all of the time, that it just knows not to hold on to things for too long, because boom, another thought is gonna come in 3 seconds. So we have to like remove the memory of this other one. But I'm like, no, that's a good thought. Let's hold on to that for like 3 more seconds. I just have to like get it on the piece of it, and then I lose it. And yeah, and when I was in elementary school, they taught us how to type. I remember we would go to the computer room in the library, and they would literally have us like do like the typing programs. Like, if anyone went to elementary school in the United States, I mean, I don't know if they still have this, but like this was back in 2006, 7 maybe. Wow, I'm old. No, I'm not that old, but still, like that's a crazy leap of time. And yeah, like they would teach us how to type really fast, and so I'm really good at typing, even though I've never really had to use it because I don't work corporate jobs or anything like that. But I've always like maintained the skill, and I've always enjoyed typing just because I know I'm really like fast at it, because they taught me this shit in school. Which I did have like a thought about that the other day, and like I'm like, was this them preparing us for a capitalistic like 9 to 5 hellscape? But then I was like, okay, Anastasia, like we're not that deep into the conspiracy theories that I'm gonna like, start thinking about whatever unnecessary. Like it could have been for that. It could have been because they were just preparing us for the real world. I'll never know, and I honestly don't care to find out at this point. I don't care. So yeah, I was writing this whole ass like a journal prompt thing, and I was basically like dumping my feelings about, and also this is like the middle of my period, so I was just feeling really confused and lost and down, and it was a lot of emotions. It was a lot of feelings of confusion within myself, and I really don't like those phases because I feel like it just expedites, more insecurity, more disbelief, more feelings of doubt and limitations and scarcity. And I'm really like, for years, I'm just like constantly working on trying to get my mindset to a place that feels confident within myself, within my decisions, within like just taking risks and doing things. But I just have so much in my brain that like tells me, no, don't do this. This is risky. This is dangerous. This could lead to that. This could lead to this. This could lead to like your worst fear coming true. Mind you, this fear that I had stems from like something that happened when I was 14 that's no longer relevant to my adult life, and I couldn't give a fuck if that happened to me because I know I could handle it better than if I ever could when I was 14. But it's still in my brain, and so that prevents me from doing the thing now at 28. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, can I just physically go into my brain and remove that fear, that limitation, that instilled trauma response, whatever the thing is? Like, this is just unnecessary. I wish it's like in a computer, you go and you delete old files, old pictures, old songs, whatever, to make, free up storage. Like, why can't I do that to my brain as simply as I can do it on a computer, on a device? Because the whole reprogramming thing and really sitting and like getting into the thoughts and realizing where it stems from and getting to the source and then having to actively reprogram, that takes time, that takes repetition, that takes you being in situations where it happens and then you having to face it. It's just so, why can't we just remove the programming altogether? And that way, when the situation arises that would usually like trigger the reaction, if it's just not there in the first place in my brain, then I don't have the reaction and then I can live all my life peacefully. But no, that's not how it works. Who created the system? I need to have a chat with you. These sunglasses are kind of huge. Oh my god, wow, the sun is sunning today. Okay, that's much better. I love these sunnies. Oh wow, and I can like see things clear. Anyway, yeah, so what was I talking about? I already forgot. And it's just very, very irritating because I know that if I know I have the potential, I know that I have the capacity, I know that I have the capability, I have the things that I need, but my brain is literally my biggest enemy. It's no longer outside people, it's no longer my own insecurities, I'm no longer even my own enemy. It is my fucking brain. It is my brain that I understand is trying to protect me, that is trying to look out for me and keep me safe because it thinks these situations that I want to put myself in are a danger to my existence, even though like we all logically, rationally understand that's not the case. Those were just things that like happened a really long time ago and created this fear within us because in that moment in the past it seemed like a life-threatening circumstance, even though realistically for the most part it's not like we find ourselves in situations where we could end up no longer alive. Do you know what I mean? And that's not to say people don't have those situations. Of course, that's like a completely different ballpark. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like when I think about when I was in middle school and a group of girls told me like they didn't want to hang out with me anymore because I was annoying, and that stayed with me. Like that stayed with me until my adulthood, and I've since reprogrammed that, so that no longer impacts me in my relationships with people and how I approach friendships and meeting people. But that impacted me still for a really, really long time after the situation. I had no idea about it, even though I had like that memory specifically from my childhood very well ingrained into my brain. So I should have technically put two and two together because I don't really have that many like clear memories from my childhood. Trauma. And yeah, so I should have known that, but like, and then I had to realize that, and then I had to go through putting myself in situations and being okay with the potential of being rejected, and it's just like all these things, and there's probably still elements from that one situation that still impact the way that I move in the world going forward, and it's just like I don't care if a bunch of girls come up to me now and they're like, we don't want to hang out with you, you're annoying, I'd be like, I don't care, then I'm not your person. Like that doesn't actually make there's nothing wrong with me. It's just like we're not a match. Do you know what I mean? So why can't my brain just behave with that same logic? But it doesn't. Your brain goes off of familiarity, and if some situation in the present moment feels familiar to a situation that happened literally 20 years ago, where you were afraid, where you were stressed, where you felt like this is the end of the world, your brain remembered that, and then 20 years later, you're finding yourself in a similar-ish situation, but you're not having the exact same responses that you did back then, because you realize, like, rationally, it's not that big of a situation, not that big of a deal, but your brain tells you otherwise, because it's like, hey, no, like, we remember this, and last time I checked, you were panicking, hysterical, crying, falling on the floor. This was the end of your life, it seemed, at the time. So we're gonna make it feel like the same kind of a situation then, and that way you're just not gonna approach, you're not gonna go for it. The brain is gonna tell you, don't do this is too risky, this is scary, like, no, just avoid at all costs, even though you want to go for the thing, even though there is risk involved. You know that you can handle it. You're at that point in Jesus fucking snowfall, you know, you're at that point in your life, and that point of your confidence and of your nervous system regulation, and you're capable of taking on the possibility of these things not going the way that maybe you would expect, like going maybe in a more negative or unpleasant direction, but you can handle it now. You have the capability, you have the intellect, you have the nervous system regulation techniques. Like, you know yourself so much better, you know your body, you know how to handle it better than you did when you were younger, but your brain doesn't function like that. And that is why, like, I've been reading a lot of Substack articles about this. I recently got a Substack. Life-changing, because honestly, I can't commit to just like one book. It's just too many pages, too much investment, too much commitment of time. What if I don't like it? I've already wasted 50 pages reading it. It's just a lot, and I like a lot of different spurts of information. I find that's how my brain retains information better, when it's like in shorter spurts. So Substack for an ADHD girly like me, love it. And there's been like a lot of articles I've come across talking about like the brain and neuroscience and neuroplasticity. And it's ultimately like, and what they advocate for, or kind of like tell people to do in those situations where your brain is kind of preventing you from doing the things that you want to do, even though deep down you know you can do them and you want to do them. I can't tell if this is on. It is on. Is to basically, you have to like put yourself into low risk situations and kind of gradually build from there and retrain your brain. Basically, while simultaneously putting yourself in that situation, your brain is obviously still at the moment telling you like, no, don't do this, it's dangerous. But because it's low risk and rationally, logically you understand, you're like, no, brain, we can take on this risk. I'm going to put myself in it, and I'm going to just like really mute that voice inside my head, because I know that this is a low risk situation. And then gradually with time, with situations, you know, here and there, you kind of learn, and your brain learns alongside it, that it's okay, we're safe, we don't need to like be so afraid of this kind of situation arising, because the brain has now been taught, it's learned itself that this is not actually as scary as it was however many years ago, and we can actually be in the situation and we can handle it, and we don't have terrible responses, like physically, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, whatever. And through those low risk kind of teachings, you know, circumstances that you put yourself in, your brain re-educates itself, reteaches itself. You reteach your brain, basically. And so I'm like, now with that knowledge, I will put myself in those situations, because I need to just be taking so many more risks at this point, because I'm honestly so sick and tired of my brain being in the driver's seat of my life. For a long time, it was my ego. Oh my God, that bitch, I had to fucking kick out of the car. I had to literally kick her out of the car. And she's like in the trunk now, so it's fine. Like, she's there. She has an important role nonetheless. Like, the ego, I feel like everyone's like on ego death, complete dissolution of the ego, but like, you still need your ego in certain situations. It's there for a reason. It's a vital part. But we're living in a society that has basically manipulated you into expanding your ego's role within the company much grander than it should have been. It should have been the janitor, okay? And then somehow it got to fucking CEO throughout your life, you know? And they knew that, and they did it. And again, I'm talking like a conspiracy theorist right now. We're not gonna get into that. But basically, so the ego, I removed her, right? And then fucking turns out the brain's against me. My brain's against me. And look, I know my brain isn't against me. My brain is actually here to help me, protect me, keep me safe, keep me alive, keep me vital, keep me, you know, just like good, to keep me good. However, my brain is also a little bit unaware of the, the actualities, the realities. It doesn't think so much in logic and rationale. I don't think that's like, I mean, that's obviously in the brain, right? Like the rationale and logic comes somewhere from the brain. So I don't know why they just can't talk amongst each other. But clearly I got to be the middleman. And so I have to like coming to the realization that my brain is also ultimately in some ways against me. And then I have to sit here and I have to be like, great, now I have to fucking deal with my brain. Like I'm barely holding on, dealing with myself. Like I just can't go for these things. Anyway, and the sun is actually really hot through the window, but like I don't know when I'm gonna see the sun we're in the beginning of February. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the fact that I even see the sun this often, like I didn't even see the sun this often in Germany. You know what I mean? Like I'm in Russia. It's minus 20 degrees the past couple of weeks, and the sun has honestly been out like several times throughout the course of the past like January, and it's really impressive because I remember in Germany I was not seeing the sun. In southern Sweden I was not seeing the sun. I was just on a phone call with my friend living in Austria. They're not seeing the sun, but here I am, full-fledged, sunny's on, and kind of overheating, to be honest with you. But if I crack this window, I will freeze. I will freeze. Okay. I was talking about the brain. Yeah. So I'm really like trying to now that I'm aware of this fact, I'm going to be putting myself in more like risky situations, and because honestly I'm just irritated. I'm just irritated with this simple knowing of these facts, and to think this in a partial way has been kind of what's been holding me back, because obviously like I know a lot of it is me, but it's also like a lot of it is also my brain telling me. So as much as I like to think I'm in the driver's seat the whole time, turns out no. Sorry, I just had a bit of a like a body fart. I don't know, like just need just recalibrate. It happens. Okay, wait, I need a second. Maybe I should drink some tea. Let me drink some tea, but it's still hot. It's okay. It's drinkable. Yeah, because I just can't keep living like this, and now that I'm aware of who is actually sneaking itself into the driver's seat of my car, we're gonna deal with the situation, because I am done. I'm done with this. Okay, I'm over it. I'm not okay with it. I'm not a fan. I don't agree. This is not allowed. I'm not allowing this anymore. This is still my life, my body, my decisions, my free will, and my brain works for me, not the other way around. Okay. And I love my brain, and I'm thankful to my brain, and I will take care of my brain. I feed you good food. I really try. I work out. I don't inhibit any stress upon you. For anyone, I'm looking up at I'm trying to look up at my brain, but I'm obviously looking up at the ceiling. So yeah, because for example, the other week I went into a pharmacy to buy some toothpaste, and I was looking for a specific type of toothpaste, but there's a lot of options in this pharmacy, and I am not. Like, I'm fluent in Russian, but it's also like I haven't really lived here for so many years that I've kind of like forgotten it a little bit. It just doesn't come as easily to me as it used to. And so I could have just went up to the person working in the pharmacy and been like, excuse me, I'm looking for this type of toothpaste. Could you help me find it? But I didn't do that because I have a bit of like a fear of talking to strangers, of talking to people, because I'm always afraid of like, oh my God, what if they have a negative response? What if they're a little bit mean? What if they're overtly nice and then I don't know how to respond because I have a little bit of a language barrier now, if it feels like to me at least. What if they think my question is stupid? Like, I just have all of these thoughts of like what this person could potentially respond to me, in what way, in what tone, and like all of the things. And even though I know they work there and it's like their job and they like kind of have to, it's still this thing of like, oh my God, what if they can't be fucked to be bothered with right now? What if they're having a bad day? I'm gonna annoy them and ask them a question about this fucking toothpaste when they could be like, can you just fucking read it yourself? Like, just all of these things, right? All of these things. So I was just like, it's whatever. I can find my toothpaste myself, okay? And I just like literally was picking up every toothpaste, reading it, and like really reading it because I wanted to be certain. And at the end of the day, I went home and I opened this box of what I thought was toothpaste. Turns out wasn't toothpaste. I bought the wrong thing. Like, it was close. It was in the section of the toothpaste, and it was in a toothpaste packaging, but it's basically like this cream for your teeth that you use to strengthen your teeth. It was weird. I opened it from the packaging and I was like, this looks like a tube of toothpaste, but it's like a lot smaller. And so I reversed the back of the thing and I read it even like more specifically, and it turns out it wasn't toothpaste. And all of this could have, and it was expensive. I kind of spent a bit of money on it. And all of this could have been avoided if I had just gotten over that stupid like brain fear that was telling me that isn't actually even a fear, because what's the worst that's gonna happen? She's gonna be a bitch. I can handle that. I know I can handle bitch people. Like, I'm so good at handling bitch people. I think it's more so I just get really disappointed when people are bitch people, because I really want to believe that there is a lot of good humans in the world, but I feel like the more non-good humans, unkind humans that I come across, it kind of kills that belief that there are a lot of good humans. And so I think I subconsciously try to avoid, creating more situations with people that could potentially prove to me that there's a lot more like shitty people than there are good people, and then that's gonna just kill this hope for humanity that I have within myself. Do you know what I mean? Whew, that was a realization. Which I kind of already knew. It wasn't like this was not an epiphany. But yeah, so I think it's that. And I also just I don't want to be put in like the stressful situation of having to deal with someone giving me an attitude or being mean to me or like whatever the negative thing that could happen is. But also, I can't predict that that's going to happen. I'm already assuming it's going to be a negative situation, a negative conversation with this person. Why not like have some hope for this human being the same way I want people to give me hope when they see me in public, even though when I'm in public I wear these sunnies and I look like this. Does that look like the face of an approachable, sweet, kind little human that is me? No. People see me and they think I'm a bitch. And honestly, they have every right to, because I'm kind of putting on that facade on purpose in a protective way so that men don't even try, because I do attract male attention. And I don't care if that sounds conceited. It's not a brag. It's honestly repulsive and disgusting and annoying at this point. Like being subjected to, the whole like staring and whatever of men. It's just disgusting. Like, who do you think you are to have the privilege to look at me? Like, look away. Look at your fucking... No, I'm gonna get mean now. I'm not gonna get mean. So I put on this bitch facade so that men don't like look at me, so that they're kind of like, no, this isn't the girl we're gonna like smile at because she looks like she's gonna murder us. But then that kind of like, obviously I can't split that, so I can't be like looking like a bitch for 1 second and then there's like a nice little granny over there and I'm gonna be like, you know what I mean? I have to kind of hold the face the whole time I'm in public for the most part. But it's just like, and then obviously people would never approach me. They'd never come up to me. They'd never start a conversation with me, even though honestly I would love that. I think that would be so cute. I'm really like that kind of like an introverted extrovert where I would never really approach a person to start a conversation or, incentivize like a friendship or whatever. But if somebody else approached me and was like, hey, do you want to be friends? I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go hang out. Like, let's have a 3-hour-long conversation about your life story. Like, you have to come up to me. You come up to me and I'm the chattiest, kindest, most funniest person you've ever interacted with. I unfortunately will probably never come up to you and talk to you, even if I think you're fun and cute and whatever. And it's prevented me so many times because I see so many cute, cool people. But I'm just scared. And I think, again, this goes back to that thing that happened in middle school when the girls were like, you're too annoying. We don't want to be friends with you. And so, like, that instilled fear of rejection is just still lingering somewhere, because part of me is like, oh, but what if they reject me? But I know that the issue isn't actually the rejection itself. Like, I'm not actually scared to be rejected, because I have that strong confidence with myself. Is like, if this person didn't, like, it wasn't meant to be. Like, we weren't meant to progress anywhere further. This isn't my person. I just kind of like went on a whim, but didn't work out. It's fine. Like, I would be fine. But it's, I think, more so being put in that situation and like, oh, well, how do I handle this going forward? Like, I don't actually know how to handle it in the moment if I'm getting rejected. And I think that's what's a bit like scary for me. It's like the awkwardness. Maybe I'm uncomfortable with the awkwardness. Oh my God, I don't know. I can't keep coming to these like half-ass realizations about life in my soul. But anyway, love is a drug. I just watched Addison Rae's Grammy performance. That was great. I got a taste of the glamorous life. See, I can kind of sing that vibe. Like, I'm more like in the like low end, like breathy singy capacity, but not great. But then rather than the I can't go. I don't know what that was. just inspired by the Grammys. Like, I just want to start singing. Oh my god, if I had Zara Larsson's voice, forget about it. I'm gonna crack this window because it's actually getting warm. I'm getting toasty, and I wish, actually, I know this is for a reason that the glass on windows blocks UV and UVA rays. But in this moment, it would be great if I could tan through the window, because if I have to open the window to tan, I'm gonna freeze. I have to wear a coat. Do you know what I mean? It's minus 20 degrees. Like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. Yeah, so... Okay. It's so funny how when you have ADHD, you kind of jump from one topic to another mid-topic, and then you circle back to the other topic you're talking about. But nobody really ever talks about where you've kind of finished one topic, and then there's like empty silence, and you're just waiting for your brain to get to the next one. You're just kind of like, which is like not great when you're filming a podcast episode, because you're like, okay, can we hurry up? Like, I have you've got a front row seat, and I got a taste of the glamorous life. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop like, okay, I am more literate than that, I promise, but I'm also like, I'm a bit of a girly girl, like in the sense that I really talk like this sometimes, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, no way, like, and I embrace it, whatever. Like, you want to think I'm an idiot because I talk like that? You don't see men getting hate for talking like fucking frat boys. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so unfair and unequal. And let me just get into the topic of competition between women. We don't see it as a common thing for there to be competition imposed upon men. It's just not common. Like, if I think about even like within culture, within society, within my own mental constructs of like what I have ingrained into me, what I've had like subconsciously programmed within me, there is nothing in regards to competition within men. But in regards to competition against women, or women competing against the other women, oh my god, a plethora. There's movies, there's TV shows, there's books, there's fucking like fashion campaigns, there's social media trends. It's just so common for women to compete against other women, predominantly for men. Like, if we're just being honest, like, it's just always the narrative, the traditional narrative is like, oh my god, like, who's gonna get him, who's gonna get the guy? And it's like, ew, why on earth are two women competing against each other for a man? That's disgusting, that's sad. Ew, a man would never ever. Yeah, and I've just been thinking a lot about it I've been thinking about it quite a bit the past couple of weeks, because specifically within Eastern European culture, I can't speak for other cultures. I do know that it is a thing in other cultures. I've seen it in Western cultures, but I think in Western cultures it's not as prominent. I feel like women tend to kind of hide, like, it's not as common. I think generally, like, just from personal experience, I haven't witnessed it that much, but I do still see it. But I find that the women are a lot more like, they hide it. They're not obvious about the fact that they're like competing with you, or that they sort of are like telling you like, we're not friends, you're a competition in my eyes. Do you know what I mean? But in Eastern Europe, in Eastern European cultures, the woman lets you know immediately. The woman lets you know immediately with her face, with her eyes, the way she looks at you. It is, I'm not speaking obviously for all women. This is obviously all like subjective or whatever. Like, it's situational. However, even I have noticed so many women's eyes on me where it's just like immediate like disdain. Immediate, like, I could never, if I were to approach them and give them a compliment, they would be surprised that I'm giving them a compliment, because they'd be like, girl, why are you doing this? Like, we're in competition with each other. And B, they would respond in a way of like, thanks. I know it. I've experienced it. I haven't experienced it a lot, because it's just so off-putting that I never want to do it ever in my life. And I just feel like it's actually not a common thing for girls to compliment each other here, because a lot of the times it could be perceived as either like being a lie, like you're just doing it to lie to the girl and make her think that you're actually complimenting her, when in reality you're laughing about her behind her back. And people can give me shit all they want, but this is just what I've made from observations from living in Western countries versus Eastern European. And it is very common within this culture, because women are sort of in in the pursuit of finding a man a lot of the times. Like within this culture, it is absolutely prevalent that women are looking to find suitors, husbands, you know, men that will choose them, marry them, settle down with them, and become like that. You know, become their husband, become the guy that chooses them. It's very common in this culture. It's never this conversation of like, oh my God, like you need to be a better man so that the right woman will choose you. That's not how it's. Yeah, and it's just really sad because I look at women obviously from a different lens now that I've kind of like ridden myself from that patriarchal brainwashing mindset, and I don't see women anymore as competition. Even when I look at a woman, I'm like, wow, you are like 1,000,000 times more gorgeous than me. And I know maybe that's bad to say in like a comparison, but it's not comparing in the sense of like I'm putting myself down from the realization that she's like cuter or better looking than me or whatever. It's just more so like this person would get, and from a traditional standpoint, a lot more male eyes on her. And again, it's not a competition between me and her because I don't want that. I don't want male attention like that. But it's more so just like the knowing of like, okay, you are so absolutely like gorgeous that you would have so many men like revolving around you. It's just an observation that I make. It's genuinely just an observation that I make. I was like, okay, you have the look, the face, the body, whatever, right? Where was I going with that? I forgot already. But yeah, what? I don't remember now. Oh yeah, so I've just been thinking about it a lot because it's like even when I go to the gym, I recently got a gym membership here. I got a gym membership here. I haven't been to the gym in this country in over a decade, and a lot has happened in the past decade because I've lived abroad. I've gone from that like mentality of being like pick me girl and need male validation, other women are my competition, to realizing what the patriarchy was. Male validation means absolutely nothing, and I just want like connection and sisterhood with other women. And if a man walks along and he's respectable enough and kind enough and worthy enough, then he can stay. Otherwise, I don't fucking give a shit anymore. And so switching from like that being on that side of the team, right, to this side of the team, even though I don't think it should be a team thing, it's more so like we want to save those women and we want to bring them on our side. And even the men that think with that mindset, like we also want to bring them on our side. We want them to acknowledge of like, this is not good for either of the genders, more so for the women, but it doesn't benefit the men as much as we think it does. It benefits them a lot more in a lot of different ways, of course, but the mass majority of those ways are very toxic and unhealthy, even for the men, and perpetuates a long-lasting life of no real fulfillment, no real love, no real like connection, authenticity, like no. So being back here and then signing up to the gym where obviously there's like a lot of men that are like care about their appearance, because there obviously when you go to the gym there are always going to be guys there that like they only do it for vanity's sake. Like they're not actually there because they want to make their body strong and want to keep fit. They do it for the vast majority for the vanity's sake. And women as well that do that for that. I'm sorry, like I'm not trying to be a hater, it's just the truth. And there's also women there that, you know, kind of go there to keep fit or look good or whatever, but also to potentially find men. Like the gym is a known like meeting point for a lot of people, right? Like people want to go to the gym and like meet people. Like it'd be convenient and nice to find someone at the gym, right? When you think about places where you like be happy to meet a partner, the gym is one of them, right? And so when I go to this gym, like I'm genuinely going because I don't like the state of my body, in the sense of like my strength is really down and my different parts of my body hurt, and I've just not kept up with fitness for the last couple of years. So I'm really going there for my body. And I also know walking into that kind of space, there's gonna be like psychological, it's more like I think it's like anthropological or sociological. Like I really don't know how to insert the correct words into what I'm trying to explain, but it's basically like an experimental ground. Like you know, I'm looking at this guy, I'm looking at this woman, I'm looking at this, like I can pick up on so much from each individual person and the sort of kind of dynamics behind like what kind of like obviously I can't say ever for 100% certain anything about a person until I've actually had a conversation with them and gotten to know them through them, but there's so much. And as somebody who's like been super hyper vigilant my entire life due to my upbringing, I can pick up on things. I can pick up on body language. I can pick up on micro expressions, microaggressions, passive aggressiveness, just even the way somebody looks at somebody else or at me, I can pick up on what that glance meant, what meaning it potentially could have held. I want to say potentially so people don't come at me being like, okay, you know everything apparently. It's like, I've been right a lot of the times. This is the thing, like my percentage of correctness in my predictions and hypotheses have for the most part become correct. Yeah, for the most part it's like it's been kind of true. And again, like even though I'm walking around in the public spaces carrying resting bitch face, it's a self-protection mechanism. I'm never actually looking at other people in the face and being like, unless it's a man that's looking at me and staring at me, then I'm like, oh, you want to stare at me? I'll fucking stare at you. Let's play a fucking staring contest, you know? But I'm never doing that like to other people because I'm like, you didn't do anything to me. Why would I just give you this like glare? Do you know what I mean? But people be giving me glares. People be at the gym. And this is the thing I've noticed. So many women at the gym have given me death stares. Like, I'm not being dramatic for the sake of storytelling. I'm honestly like, this is just what I've experienced. Because when I lived abroad, right, and it was like also like cultures where people were perhaps more outgoing, but then other cultures where they weren't as outgoing in the sense that they wouldn't like just smile at you on the street. Like, that would be considered a bit But then I'd be living in Australia and people are like smiling at you all the time and saying hello to you and asking how you are. Like, that's just part of the culture. It's very like American, similar-ish. But then like certain countries in Europe, you don't even look at a stranger for too long. Because if you do, it's weird. And even in Germany, where they have no problem like staring at people for prolonged periods of time, if you were to like give them like a look back, they'd be like, you know, they get scared. They're a bit like wussy about it. Like they have that confidence to like stare longer, but it's almost like I feel like they just can't tell that you notice the fact that they're staring, and I don't think they even notice that they've stared a little bit too long. Do you know? I just don't think they have that functioning capacity. But like in Eastern European countries, they're staring, they know they're staring, and they don't care that you see it, okay? Because they want to relay a message. That's the thing here is here they want to relay a message with their stares. And I don't like that. I don't like that because I'm like, babes, like, how about you fucking talk to me? Like, come on, let's have a conversation. This is what I mean. Like, I'm so scared to go over to the attendant at the pharmacy and ask her about fucking toothpaste, but I'm not scared to have someone approach me and for us to have a conversation and for me to be like, okay, you think it's okay to stare at me while I'm squatting? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Or you think it's okay to just give me this like death stare when I literally did nothing but like tricep pull downs? Like, what is this behavior? Like, it's just ridiculous because all of these people are adults. I'm pretty sure older than me, a lot of them. And I'm just watching this like childish, insecure behavior that again is ingrained within the culture and within the society, that it's not shocking to me. I'm not like, well, why are people behaving like this? Like, this is not okay. Like, it's not okay. But it's also like, I can't really complain that much about it because this is just how everybody is. This is just how the vast majority of the society is constructed. Everyone kind of has this perception, an idea that like men are the prize because men are the breadwinners. Men are the one that protect the home and bring home the money. And, you know, you want a father for your children because obviously as a woman, you want to have children in this society because you don't really get an option about whether or not you want to become a mother here. Like, that's just weird if you don't become a mom and you don't get married to a man. And so the men are the prize. It's never been the other way around where like the men are looking at the women and being like, the woman is the prize, even though they're the ones that are gawking at them, like foaming at the mouth, staring at women at the gym. I see them staring, not even specifically at me, like they stare at me too, but they're staring at all the women. They're staring at all the women wearing the tight, you know, clothing outfits, doing the squats, doing the lifts. Like, they're staring. If their eyes aren't on, you know, the mirror that's like helping them do their deadlifts or whatever, they're staring at a woman. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, it's just the observations I've witnessed throughout multiple of the gyms I've attended. Again, other countries, they're a bit more like private about it because they know within that culture, it's like, it's not okay to stare at a woman for too long at the gym. It's weird, and you can get called out for it, and you can get even beaten up. But here, again, it's like if I catch someone looking too long, I will stare back. But luckily, I feel like they're really good at giving micro glances where they'll kind of like look and then they'll look away. And then they'll look and they'll do like one of the side eyes. Like, they're really good at trying to like make it seem like they're not staring at you. But the point of what I was getting at with all of this is like, it's very evident that here, when women look at me, a lot of the times it's like they're trying to relate to the fact that like, I don't like you. I find you threatening. Because like honestly, like what else are they fucking giving me these like death stares at? I'm not doing anything out here. I'm literally just like working out, walking down the street, in the store, on the bus. Like I haven't really left this neighborhood all that often. It's more so like I only really notice the gym. And again, the gym is kind of breeding ground for potential, mating situations and, getting the validation stares from men, because some women, they kind of feed off of that and they like it. And this isn't an accusation of like trying to undermine or be mean. I'm just trying to state a fact. It is true. There are a lot of women that still function under the patriarchal belief of like male validation is the thing that gives me a sense of worthiness as a woman in the world. And I say that as someone who was that woman, that was that girl. Like, it's not coming from a place of being mean or coming up with conspiracy theories. Like, I functioned on that principle, that mindset, that belief. So don't even come at me for like making up things to be like I'm a woman hater. It's just facts. It's just reality. And so I feel like when they see me coming through and I'm like, you know what, whatever, I don't care. I am someone that attracts attention and I attract eyes whenever I enter a room. It's just the kind of person I am. I'm not even trying. I'm wearing a fucking hoodie. I'm not even trying. Like, I don't want people looking at me. Obviously, I could do better to hide myself as like somebody that's like interesting looking, but also like I want to wear shorts because it's comfortable to squat in shorts. Okay, leave me alone. And it's not my fault I have a juicy fat ass. Okay, so yeah, whenever I look, and then I think women think I am coming in to like take over their position of being stared at by these men. Like I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna get all these guys to stare at me and not at you. Babes, I couldn't give a flying fuck. Like, I'm over here trying to build my glutes. I'm trying to rebuild my quads. I lost a lot of muscle here after an injury. Like, I'm trying to be able to do one push-up. Like, I'm not here for the male validation. Like, are you crazy? And I get it. They can't compartmentalize that because that's the place from which they function as women. It's the place they've been functioning from as women since puberty hit them. Do you know what I mean? And yeah. How long has this been going on? 48 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but I just really wanted to emphasize the fact of like, it's not nice to live in a society where women are very much looking at me like I'm a bitch just because I'm attractive and attract male attention. And it's like, girl, if I could just like zippity zap up all of these men from not being able to see me, I would, but I can't because the invisibility cloak is not a real thing. And no, I've never seen Harry Potter, but I know what that thing is. And yeah, I did want to read a bit from my journal essay entry. I did put it on my Substack because I was like, honestly, it's kind of tea. Like, it's not literature by any means, but it's kind of funny. It cracked me up and I really laughed at it. And so I want to read some. Today I woke up feeling overwhelmed being a human, but not in the normal human way that I do. When I feel overwhelmed with sensory inputs or my feelings and emotions or external situations and other human beings, I feel more so overwhelmed by the fact that I am a human, existing simultaneously with all of the things stated above on top of the additional realizations, occasionally that I am a human on Earth, with no real certainty of why and what I am here for in the first place. Like, I was just peeing this morning after sleeping for 3 hours, and then it hit me all of a sudden. I am alive on this planet, and I don't know what is really going on, not only with myself and my life, but overall in general. Not a very peaceful pee and a start to my day. The knowing that I can't really go anywhere from that thought, the knowing I just have to keep on going about my life, and the uncertainty that's been weighing on me for, honestly, my whole entire conscious life, it seems. I just want some release from that feeling. I want to be in a mental time and space that feels certain, that feels correct. I don't know where the insecurity with the decisions of my life comes from, and I also don't really want to dig into finding out because would that actually be helpful in dealing with it? Maybe. I thought I'd gotten past the lesson of releasing control over my life and needing to know with certainty, but clearly that's not the case. And if I do end up adopting the belief that I have then, If I do end up adopting the belief that I have, then I feel I just actually let go of any control in life, generally. I just take myself out of the equation and leave it all to somebody or something else. But the actions still need to be done by me. I just feel so inadequate at times being in the driver's seat of my own life. Like I'm not doing a very great job at it and I should just quit or be fired. I don't really even know what role I'm meant to be fulfilling, what requirements I'm meant to fulfill, what it even means to be good at my job of being a human. I know the baseline of keeping my body safe and fed and alive, but this isn't the caveman days. There's more to be expected, a lot more. Or so they make me believe. But who is they? And why do I listen to them? I'm just tired of constantly reconfiguring the plan or devising a new one and attempting to complete it, but always seeming to fall through, either because of a lack of motivation or unexplained fear. Mostly, though, because of the uncertainty of whether or not it's the correct course of action. Which then brings me back to the question, who decided what's correct or incorrect in the first place? I feel like in my life, I'm the only one that actually has the ability to know that, and yet I still can't shake the feeling that like I'm waiting for approval in the form of a reward. And what is a reward in my eyes? Doesn't safety and basic human privilege cover that? Because it seems when I actually had a lot of the different things in life that would be perceived as rewards, I wasn't ultimately satisfied, at least not in the long run. Eventually, I'd always end up needing another reward, another confirmation. But when will it ever be enough? Will the reward ever make me feel like I've done it all right? Will I ever be satisfied with my life and my decisions? Or will it go on in the never-ending toxic loop that leaves me feeling aimless and like a failure? Consciously, I know that I've been gifted with so many rewards, more than some people have in their entire lifetimes, and I'm not even 30. So many more gifts, some of which I don't even realize are gifts. I have a feeling, this feeling will never entirely vanish from my life. I'll come back to the search for a reason until I die, and maybe I should just make my peace with that. But also, I don't want to. I want to, once and for all, just feel at peace with every decision that leads to this moment, and every decision that I will make from this moment onward. I know I'll make mistakes and have regrets, but isn't that the part of the point? As much as maybe I try to run from it, maybe I should just think about the mistakes when they've actually happened and deal with it then, and not waste my time focused on how to not make any more and worrying about whether or not a certain action will lead to a mistake or not. I don't really know what the condition in all of this is. No, I don't really know what the conclusion in all of this is. I woke up thinking I had a blood test this morning. Turns out I didn't. Then I went to pee and TMI warning, I felt the period blood leaving me, and I realized this is a sensation only women that menstruate feel. And then, boom, out of nowhere, my brain was just like, you are a human on this earth, going nowhere except towards your inevitable death, and you're 28, and you don't know what the fuck is going on, what the fuck will go on, and the earth is burning, and you can't fix that, and you don't even know for certain what you're meant to do each day that you wake up, and all of this coupled together is extremely overwhelming, and that's that. Now clean up your cooch, pull up your period panties, and get to existing for yet another day on this planet called home, where essentially you don't even feel like home the vast majority of the time. Jesus fucking Christ, save me. This is legitimately an attempt at asking Jesus for help, even though I'm agnostic and a misandrist and a non-believer of organized religion. Because what do I have to lose at this point? Which is another thing. You'd think if a person gets to a point in their life where they legitimately have nothing left to lose in their life except their body, why wouldn't that person just make 1,000,001 mistakes in the pursuit of at least one of them leading somewhere rewarding? But here's my other convoluted thought. I would still overthink whether or not I'm making the right or wrong mistake in the given situation, and I don't know how to turn that switch off within myself. I just don't want more problems in life. I don't want more stress and stressful situations and stressful people. I feel like I've spent forever trying to get myself off the stress wagon, but in an attempt to avoid it, it seems to find me nonetheless. And when faced with not even that stressful of situations, my body and mind still have a stress response. So I guess all that work and avoidance was for nothing. Okay, not completely. It's definitely better than where we started, but if I want to get better at handling and managing stress, I need to put myself in the eye of the target or whatever. Gosh, I really would love it if someone or something just gave me a step-by-step outline book with instructions on what I meant to do as myself in my life, like when you build a Lego or IKEA furniture. Like, if there already is a plan for me, why can't you just give it to me? Or at least get better at giving me hints. I know that would take out all of the excitement out of life, but geez, I'm tired. It's just not feeling all that exciting anymore. Am I depressed? I just want a way out. I just want a way out of how I feel, how I've been feeling for a while now. But the feeling has lingered since teenagehood. I know that the only way out is through, but I'm already trying to find a way out of this country. Like, can we just give me one puzzle at a time? I just want to know where to go from here, at least one step. But who actually has the right answer except for me? I'll keep trying until something sticks. I don't really have much of a choice. I want to keep on living, which means I will figure it out. As scary of a thought as it might sound, there ultimately is no way out of this life, of this body, of this mind. Maybe temporarily with distractions and drugs and people and vacations, but I've done all of that more than once. Don't judge me, we all have. And it's lost its appeal, the way it does for all of us eventually. So I guess now I'm raw dogging life, and it feels like shit. But maybe I'm meant to feel like shit for a while. That way, when eventually I don't, then I'll appreciate being out of that state. If there's one thing I've learned in my many feeling like shit phases of life, it's that they never last forever. Despite the fact that it does feel like forever sometimes, eventually it ends. Eventually it ends, and you don't even realize it until some time has passed. And from that, maybe it's best to just not focus on trying not to feel like shit. So try embracing feeling like shit for some time, and get whatever you can and need to get out of it. There is always something valuable and teachable in shit at the end of the day. I never look back at my shit phases with fondness and nostalgia, but I always remember the experience gained, the lessons learned, and the version of myself left behind, because through the shit, something new is always birthed, and I honestly can't wait to meet that version of myself. Really, through all of this, I'm realizing that my real problem is that I am an extremely impatient person. And that's my little essay. Okay. I need to go to the gym because it's 3 o'clock and it's gonna get busy, and I just don't want to handle people right now. And I'm on my period, so can you do like heavy squats on your period? I think my uterus is gonna be okay. All right, thank you for watching. Nobody's watching this. Nobody but my 17-year-old brother. Shout out him, my biggest supporter. And yeah, thank you once again. Bye.